everyone, and welcome back to the journey. This is week 3, and I have plenty of setups waiting to play out as soon as the market opens. Let's get right into it. So, for our first pair, we have EURNZD. Weekly is bullish on the pullback. I believe we're going to continue pulling back and maybe even shift because the daily is bearish. So, daily shifted bearish, and then we pulled back to this area of interest. And the 4 hour shifted bearish, and we're on the pullback. And on that pullback, I'm just looking for my accumulation break, retest, engulfing. Now, the reason I'm taking a counter trend sell is because I believe the daily indicates where the weekly is going to continue to head. So if daily is bearish, I believe we're going to continue selling. But if daily is bullish, I would look for a buy to buy with the weekly. So this is going to be like my new way of kind of, I guess, doing my swings analysis. I'm going to be a little more aggressive, because why not? I'm testing some new things out and we'll see how it plays out. I guess we'll know in the next few months. Yeah, next pair, Euro USD. We're bullish on the pullback and daily shifted bearish, pulled back this area of interest. 4 hour is bearish, pulled back, created a little left head, right shoulders. Or you could call it accumulation, whatever you really want. But either way, 4 hour kind of already pulled back, so I'm just looking for my accumulation break, retest, engulfing. So again, we're on the pullback now because the daily is bearish. I believe we're gonna continue to pull back. That is why I'm looking for a sell instead of a buy with the weekly. And daily happened to pull back to an area of interest. 4 hour happens to be bearish. And we happen to be on the pullback, retesting this little accumulation or left head, right shoulders, whatever you want to name it. Doesn't matter at the end of the day. And all I'm waiting on that pullback is for an accumulation, break, retest, engulfing. Next pair is EURCAD. Weekly is bullish on the pullback. Looking for a counter trend to sell. Why? Because daily is bearish and we pulled back to an area of interest. 4 hour is bearish as well. We're on the pullback. We even created a left head, right shoulders or accumulation. Doesn't matter. All I'm looking for is for a 4 hour proper pullback. I wouldn't count this as one. It's more of an indecision. Look for a 4 hour pullback, and then I'll look for my accumulation break, retest, engulfing. Next pair is GBPJPY. Weekly is bearish on the pullback. We did just barely close under this structure point, creating a lower low, just barely. I already checked. We're on the pullback. I'm trying to take a counter trend buy. Why? Because the daily is extremely bullish, and we even pulled back to this area of interest right here. All I need is for a 4 hour shift of structure to look for my entry. AUDJPY, we are bearish on the pullback. I'm trying to take a counter trend buy because the daily is bullish, pulled back to this area of interest. 4 hour, I'm just waiting for a lower low and a shift. These next ones are going to be pretty similar. NZDJPY, kind of similar / not really. We're bullish, we're on the pullback, retesting this area of interest. Daily is bullish, pulled back to this area of interest as well. And 4 hour, I'm waiting for the lower low and a shift. GBPCHF, we are bearish on the pullback. Now, I'm going to look for both things. I'm either going to look for a sell continuation or a buy for a deeper pullback. So for now, the first thing that can play out is a buy because the daily is bullish. We already pulled back to this area of interest, and all I'm waiting for is the 4 hour lower low and a shift to take the buy. Now, if daily creates a higher high and shifts, then I will look for a sell to sell down with the weekly because we do have a weekly area of interest over here. So yeah, two options. We'll see what happens first, what plays out first. I'd like to buy to up here and then maybe even sell once we shift. So that'd be pretty cool. USDJPY, we are bearish on the pullback. I'm looking for a counter trend buy because the daily is bullish. We already pulled back to this area of interest over here. And I'm just waiting for a 4-hour lower low and a shift to look for my entry. These are all the pairs that could play out as soon as market opens. And I'm going to go over the other pairs that can play out throughout this week. We have AUDCAD will play out the day after the market opens, at least one day after. AUDCAD, we're bearish on the pullback. I'm looking for a counter trend buy. Daily is bearish as well. We have not closed above this, shifting as bullish. 4-hour, I'm just waiting for a shift of structure and a pullback. I don't know why, but I believe that this can't happen in one day. So it is on tomorrow's pairs. It's mainly just because like I'm not a big fan of the daily because it looks like we're about to head up. But I'm waiting for the 4-hour lower low and the pullback to look for my entry. Euro GBP, we're bullish on the pullback. Daily is bearish. However, I'm just waiting for the shift to look for my entry. Now, the reason I count this as a structure point is because we created a lower low and the lower high is somewhere all the way up here, and then we created a new lower low right now, and I'd count this as the lower high. So all we need is a shift, and I'll look to enter on the wick pullback. USD CAD, it's very similar, but again, not really. We are bearish on the pullback, looking for a sell. Daily, again, just need to wait for the shift to look for my entry. And this closed engulfing this, so I count this as a structure point. So higher high, higher low. We created a new higher high, and now this became the new higher low. And all I need is a candle to close down here to look for my entry. We have one pair that can play out still this week, just not anytime soon. Weekly is bullish on the pullback. I'm just waiting for a daily lower low and a shift to look for my entry. And yeah, those are the pairs I'm interested in today. Now, what you guys will might realize, is that I am not trading any of the exotic pairs. This is because I am doing my swings analysis slightly differently. I'm a lot more aggressive now, so I don't need as many pairs. And I already have a ton on today's list, and any more would just overwhelm me for the week, which would probably cause my trading to get a lot worse, maybe get me to take some bad trades, and maybe, yeah, just kind of mess up my psychology throughout the week. So for this week, I am not going to trade, I'm not going to analyze or trade any of these pairs just because I already have too much. And I'd prefer trading the normal pairs rather than the exotics because the spread's higher and they're a little more choppy most of the time. But yes, I'm not interested in them. I'm going to keep them like this. But as I keep going along, I'll decide whether I want to take them off completely or still keep them on just in case. Either way, thank you guys for watching. That's the plan for week 3. If the market gives me what I'm looking for, I'll be ready, but I am not going to chase it. Make sure you stick to your strategy and you do not break it, because at the end of the day, you will win. You will come out on top. If you're grinding towards your own grinding towards your own goals, keep showing up every day. Remember, the money comes after your mindset, not after your actions. I'll see you guys in the next video.